All right, I am talking with Billy Marrero of Epic Failure. How you doing today, Billy?
I'm doing well, thank you very much.
All right, Billy, let's talk about what is Epic Failure all about?
Well, Epic Failure is pretty much about all the guys and girls all over the world that fall, have their shortcomings, and it's in. I guess overall, it's about picking yourself back up, accepting the shortcomings, accepting the failures, and becoming better than you were before.
Hmm.
Making negative into a positive. Pick yourself up, dust off, get back in the ring, take everything on head on.
What's been the most exciting thing to happen to you guys since you've become a rap slash hip hop duo?
the the most exciting thing, it was, you know what? Honestly, it's been such a crazy year. 2015 was. There's so much to touch on. But the big two things for me personally, with the NFL Network inside the NFL,
Uh-huh.
inside the training camp on the NFL Network. I've been watching that network since they first came out, and I love that channel. And to be on that channel and to be like the song, the intro for the show that I love watching, like all the behind the scenes stuff,
Uh-huh.
was literally like it was like a dream come true. And then the Slammies. Our song champion was also on the Slammies,
Uh-huh.
and they used us for the prestigious, Wrestler of the Year award or Superstar of the Year
Superstar of the year.
award. And that was so sick to watch the montage of number one, all these wrestlers that are just so impactful to like the kids nowadays because it was so cool. Because growing up, I watched like all the montages like Stone Cold and The Rock, all the different all the stuff with like Limp Bizkit and Creed and
Uh-huh.
all these other bands that I was into when I was a kid. And literally as a younger kid, I was like, oh man, one day I wish and hope that maybe they use my music. Back then I wasn't recording nothing. I was like 9 or 10 years old. That's how long I've been loving what I do.
Uh-huh.
And for that to happen, it was like touching. It was like it felt like this is for real now. And it was really exciting, and it just solidified the path that we're on and how our trajectory, if you will.
Yeah, dude, congrats on receiving that recognition from all those entertainment outlets. That's great.
Thank you.
What do you? Sorry, who or what influenced you personally to get into the music industry?
When I was, all right, there's a little two-part thing real quick. When I was about 5, I think my dad got me my first piano. It was this crappy little Yamaha thing he got out of the trash. Again, it was a father worked hard, blue collar. He got this thing out of the trash or like junking, something like that. Old, like 80-something key Yamaha, like purple and orange, like real 80s looking thing.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I kind of started playing the piano. And that was like where it all started, kind of like self-taught. And then after that, I got lessons as I got older. And then when I was in middle school, and I don't think I've ever told anyone this actually outside of my family or like my inner circle. My grandfather was very sick. He was ill and he was dying. So I went to go see him prior to him passing. And, I was doing music then. It was like middle school, and that's when I started like writing, like trying to make songs, composing like whole songs.
Uh-huh.
And, he made me promise him that I'd never give up, that I was meant for greatness, and I should keep pursuing my music and never quit. And that's why I do what I do. I refuse to give up. I refuse to quit. I made a promise to someone very important to me. And they made me believe in myself back when I didn't even know I was even who I was. And it kind of gave me my identity. It kind of gave me that initiative, that incentive to always work hard because someone believed in me. Even when they had more important things to worry about, some of their last breaths were telling me that I was special and important. And that means so much to me. And those are the two main reasons why I do what I do. Also because I love it and it's kick-ass.
What do you think he would say to you today if he saw you? How you were today?
Well, that's heavy. That's a really good question. And I like to think that he's here all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I think that if he was here, he'd probably just give me a pat on the head and, tell me he's proud of me and ask me if I've eaten today. So.
Have you eaten today?
I have, yep.
Okay, good. Let's talk about living on a prayer. Why did you guys decide to put your own unique spin on that? Like, whose idea was that exactly?
It was, at the time we were looking for a legit cover to do something dope, and Bon Jovi gets tossed into the mix somehow, way or another. Nick has a better memory than me. I take a lot of hits to the head. Just kidding. But Nick, one way or another, we got it into the mix, and it was a long process. It was a year-long process, and we did like the natural, like old school, like do a cover of a song kind of thing, where like you almost like you like mirror it, and we were like, no, this isn't gonna work. It's not right. It's not doing it right. So we put our own spin on it, and Nick did an amazing job with putting his spin on Tommy in the story and kind of putting himself in that place and putting almost like everyone nowadays in that place. And I think that's one, and I mean, sidebar, I think it's one of the greatest skills of Nick, that he somehow he just, I don't know what's the word, he takes words, he twists them, and he does an amazing thing where he just makes stories, and he did that with Prayer. And it was a year-long process, I think, maybe a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we initially started as like a normal cover, and then we thought, we're just going to put our own little epic spin on it, and it turned out to what it did, and it turned out beautiful, and as I'm sure as you know, Mr. Bon Jovi himself gave a sign-off and a stamp of approval, which was, for me, because Bon Jovi's one of the people I was really, really into. So for me, that was like, again, one of those things where it's like, I guess we're doing something right, and that's really dope.
Do you think people have connected to it?
When you go, because, we're artists, so we go on YouTube and we're like looking at the comments, and people are like, wow, such a great spin, or what a great interpretation for the younger youths. And when you look at these people, that are commenting, they're older. Because Bon Jovi is legendary. He's been around for so long, and the band's been around for so long. Their fan base, there are people our age, obviously, that are fans, but then also there are a lot of older people that are fans. And a lot of the older people who clearly are, like, knew them in their heyday, probably went to a million Bon Jovi concerts, were like, this is a great interpretation of a song, or this is a great way to connect you to such great music from years that, were before them. And that's really awesome to see people respond that way, especially like the hardcore fans, because people take Bon Jovi serious. I'm not kidding. Like, there were some people on there like, oh, this is horrible, what a shame. Like, that's part of it. So, I mean, it was dope to see people react well to it positively, and I think it has such people. And the few people that have written us on our Facebook page, I don't know if Nick told you, like, wow, this song is so awesome, or this song got me through my week, I really appreciate it. So when you get stuff like that, I mean, fame and fortune is, really dope, but like, that's making it when music is impacting people's lives.
Receiving recognition from Bon Jovi, like one of the biggest rock stars to ever live, is already great. But have you met any of your idols or inspirations, or who would you want to meet or collaborate with in the future?
Oh, again, can you shoot that by me one more time? I'm sorry.
Who would you want to collaborate or work with in the future? Whether it's just somebody you've been looking up to recently, or just somebody that is great in the music industry.
All right, man. I got a dream team right here, right? I'm sitting in the studio, right?
Go for it.
Some killer studio in LA, right? Sitting back, chilling, drinking a brew. I'm gonna be posted up with Billy Joel one day.
All right.
Mr. Bon Jovi himself the next. Kanye West. I would love to work with Kanye West. Daft Punk. Oh my goodness. I would love to sit down and connect with Daft Punk. Those guys are sick. And artist-wise, as far as collaboration, I would love to work with Lady Gaga. That'd be sick. And I'm the singer of the group. I think I'm an okay singer. I can get the job done. But as far as like working with an amazing singer, I mean, I would love to work with like Frank Ocean. I think Adele is magic. I would love to work with like artists like that.
Yeah, you have a lot. Your dream team is just full of different genres, which is great. Which is how it should be. It shouldn't just be one focused thing, which I like. I like the diversity that you put in there.
Well, epic failure. I mean, like, also another thing that when we got together that we wanted to make a thing was that we didn't want our music to be stereotypical hip hop or predictable hip hop. Nick is pure Jersey, New York hip hop. I mean, the boy's got flow, he's got grit, he's got swagger, like it's all over the place. But I mean, you bring an aspect of me where I am a bit more pop growing up. I mean, I listen to Metallica, I listen to Frank Sinatra, I listen to the Bee Gees, Iggy Pop. I mean, like, I listen to a lot of different music. So that's like what I brought to the table. So when we got together, we're like, all right, we got something special. We're gonna run with this. But the number one rule is we're gonna always be us. We're gonna make hip hop at its core. The tough beats, the heavy bass, the lyrics. We're gonna follow that. But we're gonna make it fun. We're gonna throw some dope hooks in there, some catchy hooks, and not compromise the musical aspect. of doing what we do versus, just making something that's like easy, quick, and like just a baseline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. What can people and fans expect for the rest of 2016 from Epic Failure?
I mean, we're working hard every day. True story. This week alone, we already finished up 3 new songs. Lots of touring dates. We're already. For the rest of this month, we're booked every weekend in a different city. We got Nashville, Pottsville, Harrisburg. Those are 2 PA places in Nashville, Tennessee. We're probably going to wind up in Detroit again. New York City, Philadelphia. Right now we're just touring, trying to just build up the brand, the name, and get it out there. And what they can expect is great things. We want to bring back an authenticity to the hip hop genre and just overall music. Not just music that you can turn up to, but music you can feel, music you can connect to, and music that can inspire and change. And that's what we want to do. And we don't want to be too artsy with it or too fancy with it. We're just going to do it the only way we know how, and that's with our hearts.
All right, this is going to be the last question. This is the same question I gave to Nick, but I wanted to get your take and feel on it. Talk about being optimistic in life, because seeing what you went through because you were on television, you were on I'm sorry, drawing a blank. Extreme Makeover, Home Edition.
Extreme Makeover 2020, yeah.
2020. You faced a lot of negativity and very difficult times. Talk about that and what people should do if they're in a situation like that, or just being optimistic, why they should stay positive. Just go for it.
Well, when in negative situations and predicaments and living situations and things like that, the only thing you can do is stay positive. My dad always says, if there's a problem, that's what my father says. If there's a problem, why are you worried about the problem? It's there. It exists. You know it's there. So why sit there and look at the problem and say, hey, there's a problem. Find the solution. Because in finding the solution, you find the optimism, you find the hope, you find the change, you find the will to get better, to do better. And I think that's the most important thing about being in that situation. Whether you're poor, you're hungry, you ain't got money, you can't pay for college, you got too many kids, you're a single parent, all these things. That's the problem. That's already done. It's there. Find the solution. And no, it's not easy. No, it's not really fun. And yes, most times you're going to have to face these things alone, as many of us do, face our own problems. But the hope, and there is because for every problem there is a solution. It's just the way of the universe. The fact that there is a solution, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That's all you need. Because even if it's the darkest it's ever been, there's always light, always. And I think that's the best way to address those kind of issues.
Yes, perfect way of putting it. I love hearing people being optimistic and just turning negatives into positives, and both of you guys just summed that up perfectly. So thank you for that, for telling people how they can just change the way that they are if they need to,
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you want to say about Epic Failure, about your year, about 2015, about anything at all?
First off, I'd like to say New Jersey, we're going to bring it back. We'll put us back on the map, and we're going to rock it. And I want to say to all of the people who believe and trust and supported us from then till now, and a lot's happened in 4 years, 5 years. Thank you. And for those people who don't know us, I hope you're ready for us, because there's a lot of action going on over here. We tend to put it down.
All right.
Seriously.
Perfect. Thank you very much. That concludes the interview. Don't hang up just yet, Nick. Thank you again to Nick from Epic Failure, and be sure to check them out. They are going to get big very soon. Thank you, Nick.
Oh, well, this is Billy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Billy. I'm sorry,
That's
Billy.
Okay, it's all right.
Sorry.
We sound alike. I got a black guy voice.
Sorry about that. I mixed you guys up. I was looking at the name. Thank you,
That's
Billy.
okay.
Thank you, Billy, for that. And this is Corey with Concert Crap.